here where she can give a little bit of her 2 or 3 cents.
Okay. Okay, so, so here's what my dad wants me to give my 2 cents. Why is it 2 cents? What is that?
Because it's more than 1 and less than 3. I don't know.
I
don't know.
Where does that come from? Why isn't it 5 cents?
Older than me.
Why is it
older than me?
Can you stop interrupting me? Thank you. Oh, gosh. He hates it when I interrupt him, and he hates it when I'm rude, but then he thinks he can go interrupting me and being rude to me. Yeah, okay. You know what? All right. I guess that's a dad's, one of the a father's privilege, right? Anyway, so my 2 cents about all this, honestly, I was struggling to listen a little to what he was saying, and also, doing all the social media and talking to people and doing all that stuff that a assistant does. But yeah, I did hear little bits and pieces of what he was talking about. Ow. He's been
the wonders of live radio.
The wonders of being in a cramped little space. That's what it is. But anyway, honestly, I think that for the most part, no. Actually, I think I totally agree with everything that my dear father here said. I don't know. I think that this it's definitely a very heated subject. It's definitely something worth talking about. It's just so many dynamics involved in it. And honestly, there's I'll put it to you this way. In a nutshell, going back to the thing about that, women and men need to have common sense. Yes, they're of course, common sense is a vital component. But the thing is, oh, gosh, I can't do both at once. We need like 5 people to do everything. I'll be honest with you. But anyway, the thing with it that I'm actually really angry that in the year 2017, this isn't 1927, this isn't 1827, this is 2017, almost 2018, believe it or not. I still find it hard to believe. And in this, that it angers me that even in today's world, that we still have a problem with women getting molested and women getting attacked and raped and whatever. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen to men. Believe me, it is very uncommon. It is very uncommon. But the fact of the matter is that I am actually really, really pissed off that this stuff still happens. It just baffles me. Here we are. We're going zooming ahead. We are making like we're soaring in certain areas. We're absolutely soaring. I guess in technology, in medicine, but we still, as humanity, as people, as human beings, we are still absolutely, I'm sorry to say this, we're a disgrace. All right, I think we're an absolute disgrace, and it just doesn't make sense to me. That here we're soaring in some areas, but in other areas, nothing's really changed. Nothing's really changed or gotten any better, and that really, really pisses me off. That really angers me a lot. But yeah, going back to what he was saying, going back to the main real topic here, I agree. Common sense is important, but to put it all in a nutshell, I think it's an outrage. It is an outrage, and it's horrible, and it's a disgrace that women, anybody, a woman, a man, a Venusian, Martian, should have to be afraid to be attacked, and I think That has got to stop. End of.
End of. Okay. From the one and only Ashy 7, the voice of the woman. Hear her roar. Hear her roar. Anyway, so again, we welcome for you to roar, bark, meow. I don't know. Quack like a duck. Give us a call. Skype us at Radio Chutzpah. That's RADIO. Second word Chutzpah. CHUTZPAH. Okay, let's move on a little bit. The second thing, which has to do with sex, lies, and cover-ups, especially the last word there, cover-ups, has to do with the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, also known as JFK. Yeah, we have a caller.
Woo! Okay. Video, no audio, right? Okay.
Hello, this is Radio Chutzpah. Oh, I believe this is our flying Swede. Are you flying?
Of course. That's me.
You're flying, huh?
This is a really close topic, close at heart to me, because it's a topic that first of all, we have mass sterilizations here in Sweden, and I'm not proud of it. But then we need to look from the other side. Okay, if we didn't here in Sweden had mass sterilization, how would today been? Like, we would have been overcrowded. Like, we didn't have been enough space to grow our crops, have our industries, and so on. And sadly, in 2017, there is a lot of mutilations, both men and women. Men get their balls cut off, for example. And as I see it, it's now I'm going to say this, I might offend someone, but I'm not going to be politically correct.
No, we're not politically correct here. Go ahead.
Some people read, for example, the Muslims, some people take it to the extreme. They mutilate their women so they can't have kids. And it's not only in the Muslims. I've seen it many places during the years, and it's also a sad topic because, you have the right to have your kids. A man has the right to be able to reproduce himself.
Yes. And
a woman she has the right to have her be able to carry her own kids. Nice. And in today's society, I would like to see more laws passing in every country against this kind of, I'm calling it a discrimination against human rights, because that's how I see it. It's a discrimination. It's a violation even against human rights. Every human has the right to reproduce.
Yes, that's true. And I believe that the UN and other organizations have adopted that as, at least if not law, as policy, that, that is a basic human right, the right to be able to reproduce and not have someone tell you can or you can't, or force you to do it or force you not to do it. That is, I think, basically kind of accepted. As far as the genital mutilation that you were talking about, it's an awful, awful thing. It's like something so horrific to me that I can't even, it's very few things I don't freely talk about. That's one of them. It's so horrible to me that it's something I can't even really talk about. It's just awful. It's an awful thing. However, I do have to say, being a Jew and in Israel, again, there's common sense, extremes, and so forth. There are people who love to hate us, meaning Jews, who like to also say, oh, your circumcision practices, which have been going on for thousands of years, that's also genital mutilation, and that should be made illegal. And there are many places in Europe that have attempted to make circumcision actually illegal. And I'm sorry, that's taking it to an extreme.
Yes. I agree on that. Like,
Yeah, it's not like we're chopping
some-
off. It's not like we're chopping off the little baby's D. You know? It's we're just actually. Did you know? I'm sorry, I have to chime in here.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Charlene is.
Hello,
Dr.
Charlene. I see
Say
you're
hi
on the
to
board there,
Charlene,
Charlene.
Max.
Hi,
Hello,
Charlene. From
So,
America.
What? America. From America.
America. Go ahead. What were you saying?
So what I was saying is that it's not like we're actually harming or damaging or chopping off the little baby's schmeckle. Okay, it's not like we're not actually doing mutilation. It's actually, according to what I've read and heard, it's actually something healthy. It's actually better. It's actually healthier and better for a male to not have all that extra skin. So it's actually better. I've heard it has health benefits to it. So, screw you, Europe. Screw you.
So anyway, thank you, Ashley. So yeah, well, we went way off on a tangent there. Okay, so
I always do.
I see it that, as Ashley said, it's not mutilation. Like,
Nope, it's
some people get that completely wrong. Like, they mixing it up.
no, it's a good excuse. It's a good excuse. I think it's along the same. It's along the same lines. It's along the. Let me finish. It's along the same lines of like what I don't know if you were listening when I talked about Mayim Bialik, and she wrote that story about Harvey Weinstein, saying, "Look, I think I dress modestly, I act modestly. I don't try to act sexual at work. I try to be professional." And she was viciously attacked to the point of like saying, "You're blaming all the women. You're blaming the victim. You're as bad as the men." Again, they took something and made it an extreme. And I think that's the same idea here as where people look for an excuse like, oh, genital mutilation is terrible, which it is, we just talked about. Oh, and the thing you Jews do, the circumcision, that's terrible too. Let's make it illegal.
Oh, look
It's the same idea.
Charlene said,
Wait, he Ozzy's still talking. Go ahead, Ozzy.
And, like, yes, people take everything to the extreme. I'm like, people can... Like, everything, I don't quote me on this, but we had mass sterilization up to the 1950s here in Sweden, and people, like me, I'm turning 22 in a few days.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this until a couple of days earlier, like this Saturday, someone told me, and I looked it up, and I was surprised that a country as good as Sweden was having mass sterilization.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's like people can take every topic, people can take every topic to the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, like, as I see it, like, want to find something that they can talk bad about, like, find an excuse to, for example, let's take the KKK in America. They are, as I see it, they are an extreme religious group that hating black people. And if I was in America,
no, equal opportunity hate there, Ozzy. They hate Jews and they hate Catholics too.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I could. If I was a KKK member, I would find an excuse to call Radio Schutzbah and hey.
Okay, you were close.
But
it's like Ahmed. It's like Ahmed. It's like Ahmed. A flam. And I'll kill you. No, go ahead.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm not raised in Israel.
That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no.
It's fine.
People always try to like right there. I came up with an excuse for not be able to pronounce the name.
It's okay.
And like I think people does it not because they want to. Sometimes the subliminal mind makes up an excuse and you say it without really thinking about it. So it is like it can be good and a bad thing, but
Okay.
as my point stands.